Shalom and welcome everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. My name is Yehuda Michael. I'm a program director at MCTC. Thank you for everyone for joining us from all over the world. Mashav Israel Agency for International Development Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is welcoming you to Spotlight on Women Leaders of the World series. On this series, we invite women leaders from all over the world to share with us their experience. If you have any question for our guest today, please feel free to write it down into the comment section and we will get back to those questions in the end. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We're honored today to host Member of Parliament, Christy Mukabunani. Since 2018, MP Mukabunani has been served as a Member of Parliament in Rwanda. Previous to becoming a member of the parliament, MP Mukabunani served as a chairperson of the Social Party Imkubaki. In 2016, MP Mukabunani participated in a training program on the political empowerment of women organized by Mashav MCTC and partnership with the UN Women Eastern and Southern Africa Region Office, ESARO, and a Singapore Cooperation Program, SCP, and learned building a political campaign in that program. Welcome and shalom, MP Christy Mukabunani. It's a pleasure to have you in this program today.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I salute everyone who is following.
Thank you for taking time in your very busy schedule in the holiday season to join us from Kigali, Rwanda. We really appreciate that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it too.
Let me jump into the question. The first question I want to ask you about is you. Tell us about yourself, your background, and a little bit about your current role.
Thank you. I think you have said it in summary. My name is Christine Mukabunani. I'm Rwandese. I'm married. I have 3 children, 1 daughter and 2 sons. For now, I'm a member of the Parliament Chamber of Deputy in Rwanda, because we have 2 chambers. We have Senate and we have deputies. Me, I'm among the deputies. We were elected in 2018. And before, I was working in a private agency company, which is called Majerwa. It is an agent which is doing the business of loading and unloading of cargo from outside the country. In politics also, I'm the chairperson of opposition party, PS Mberakuri. I think it is that about myself.
Great. Thank you for sharing your about yourself. Is politics was something that you want to involve from since you're younger? When does it start, the whole thing to involve in politics?
Yeah, to be in politics, I was decided to enter. There are some days ago, I think it is in 2007 or 8. I started with one party here, which the PS Mberakuri was not yet started. I was a member of one of the parties here, and then after, me and the other people, we have decided to start ours, which is opposition 100%, where we are free to talk about everything, especially to criticize which is going wrong in the country so that it can be corrected. We decided because people here in Rwanda, according to the background, there are many people who were killed because of political reasons, and when they were not politicians. So I decided to go in politics to see what is happening in politics. Why people decide to decide to work bad, to work wrongly, and without taking the interest of the country. Why? And how people take decisions for the whole country. How to judge so that the country can benefit from the politicians and how a country can lose because of the politicians. That is why I enter in politics, to give my contribution on the development of the country.
I think it's a great reason to join the politics, and I bet you did a lot. I actually want to have a follow-up question to that. What is the most important decision you make as an MP? Is there anything that is, you pass in legislation or something that really benefits the majority of the people?
Yes, yes, there are many decisions which are made, but before talking about my own decision, it's important to explain how MPs work, because we work as a team. We work in committees, but even the decision, individual decisions, of course, work, because on my part, for example, I have the members. I have the members, and also I have the people, even if they are not members of my party, they are also people who appreciate what we do, because we talk the truth about people. When they have problems, when they need advocacy, we collect the ideas and we come up with them in the parliament and explain to the plenary session of the members of the parliament, and we take the decisions. So the root or the source of those decisions are from our side. For example, when I talk about the education in Rwanda, in our party, we had in our political program, we wanted that teachers may be given a value, especially in being paid in their salaries. So when we are in the parliament, we make an advocacy so that teachers can have a salary which is increased at least, of course, according to the capacity of the country, but they try to add some percentage to their salaries. For example, last year and this year, 10% was added to their salary because we had made the advocacy. And also for example, in health, we talk about insurance. We have insurance, health insurance. And people have agreed that in the next days, they will add some other services to that insurance, like adding, there are some sicknesses which were not insured, but for now it was agreed that we'll be adding some services, some sicknesses to be insured. So there are many decisions about the social life of the Rwandese, which are improving because we gave our contributions. Thank you.
Thank you for the amazing answer. Education and health is a challenge in many countries, and I'm sure that you are also focusing on that, and that's really great. I want to ask you actually a very current kind of question. How is COVID-19 impact Rwanda at this time? How is that going in Rwanda in general?
COVID-19, it's a very big challenge because it had the impact on almost all the areas of the health or of the life in Rwanda. Some people have stopped their businesses, they can't work, and the others have dismissed from jobs because the companies failed to continue to work. In education, the schools were stopped from March 2 October, I think. And even today, it is not well started. People must look for the conditions in which they can work without being contaminated. But about the country, about Rwanda, we try, of course, we try. But there are some challenges, of course, which we have to discuss with the government about how to lead people without making them very, very suffering from this pandemic, according to the capacity, to the financial resources, for example. The schools, for example, the higher institutions have suffered more because they had to use ICT, and here it is still a problem about the ICT. In some areas, there are no networks, no internet. Even the computers, they are not enough. But I see that we try to do it. We talked about the vaccination, which is maybe, we have heard that it is in a few days coming. But also in our party, for example, we said the government must think well about that vaccination, so that it can come and be given to the population without the other consequences about their lives. I think it is that, but the COVID-19, we have to remember that it's not something which can stop in a few days. It must be in long time. That's why people must be prepared. They must be ready about how to face or to fight against this pandemic, or about how to live with it. We have to live with it, to be neighbors with the COVID. So we have to learn how to do, how to work without allowing it to kill us, and also without being very, very handicapped by it. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. It's a global challenge, unfortunately, that faces every country. Here in Israel, also, we have our challenge is I think we're going into the closure for the third time, probably. The parliament is still discussing this option. But I think the vaccination is also on the way. So that's another hope to look over. So that's great. I want to come back and ask you a question about actually you and your experience. What are some of the biggest challenge you have had overcome in general in process of getting into politics and life, and how do you overcome those challenges?
The challenges were many. There were many because, as I said, I started with the oppositional party. And according to the history of Rwanda, to the background, it's known that the genocide against the Tutsi of 1994 left the Rwandans with some fear about the politics. So when you talk about the opposition, it becomes very, 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 very big a problem, because people think that if this person is coming to talk about the opposition, he or she wants to bring about the discrimination and so on. But that challenge of not understanding where our party, especially me, who was the leader of the party, it was solved by how we expressed ourselves. Because in 2013, we have also competed with the elections, but we didn't succeed. We lose because people were not still adapting about us. They were thinking that this opposition party is going to cooperate with the FDLR, those people who have done the genocide. But as long as we continue to express ourselves, how to work, that's a contribution which is positive. People have started to understand us well. That's why in 2018 we have won the elections. Other challenge was about social in the society, for example. In the society, when they see me in politics and on the head of the party, some of my friends ran away from me. They said, you are not okay. You are not our friend again because you are going in politics and especially in the opposition. But after that challenge also had been addressed because they have discovered that it's not bad, it's giving only the contribution. And some of those friends now come to me and tell me their problems, asking me for the advocacy when they have some conflicts with maybe the authorities or their neighbors. Now it started to be okay, but before it was very difficult, of course.
I'm sure being in politics is not easy, but great that you overcome all those problems. I want to ask you basically, as a woman, do women really do politics differently? What does women brings into the politics that the man is not necessarily bringing into the politics? What is your thoughts on that?
Yes, women do differently. It's not only in politics, even in other jobs, in other things that they do, women are different from men because women know how to struggle. They struggle, and when you decide, you can't go back. And also, they care. Women care. Because, for example, when we started the party, the chairperson was a man. He was a man, but after 1 year, he was dismissed from the members of the party because he didn't care about the interest of the country. He wanted to collaborate with those other parties who are outside the country and who want to bring back the conflict and the wars. So I see that women, even here in parliament, women are many than men. You see that they take decisions which are more serious than the decisions of men. And also they know how to determine, how to decide. When you decide, you can't go back. But men, they change. They change because of many reasons. Maybe men are corrupted than women. And also they want to collect many things at the same time, while women take one thing and concentrate on it until it is on good way. Thank you.
Thank you. Always women is really adding something to any level of life, not only in politics. And I bet that women also bring a lot positive change to politics. So thank you for that answer. I want to ask you a very personal question about is there anyone who have left an impact in your life that somebody you said, this is my mentor, this is somebody that I get a lot from it, and who is that person and how that works?
Yeah, they are not one, but the most one is my husband, because he encouraged me for the first time. He said, I see that you are able. you can do politics and you do it well. So he encouraged me and he told me to go and compete for the first time. So he was a mentor. Even today, when I want to do something, he advised me. He gave me some directions, and when I follow them, it succeeds. And also the second one is our leader, our president. I follow how he works. He's serious. When he finds that something is on good way, no one can change him. So I try to imitate him, to be serious and to judge if something is good, it is very fruitful for the country. I decide to do it, even if many people don't support, but you see that it is very important thing to do. So those two men, of course there are others, but there are two men who are the most important to mentor me in politics.
Thank you for sharing that. It is great to have a supporting husband as well as a supporting leader in the country. It means a lot, and thank you for sharing. Another question I want to ask you is, based on the experience that you have in Rwanda, how can we here in Israel help support women more to enter to the politics?
In Rwanda, the decision to support women is in all levels of the country, because even in local government, women are encouraged to go to compete. And the most important thing is that they are trained. Women are trained when there are elections, for example, in February next year, it will be the elections of local leaders. So there are agencies, even the ministry, who is in charge of the gender, they call upon women who want to compete and they train them. They give them the lessons, the courses, how to compete, how to express themselves, how they will make their manifesto so that they can gain the votes. The good thing is that women cannot compete because they are women, no, because they can. So they train them how to show that they can. If you can't give your manifesto, your program, people cannot vote you because you are a woman. No, you have to know that you will compete with men. If a man has more good things for the people than a woman, they vote a man. So women must know that they have to compete. They have to think, to show how they will be important to the society. That is how Rwanda has tried to do. They tell the women that it's not because you are women. No, it's not because you can. You are able. If you are able, you are advantaged. You are given what you can do, what you can perform well. But when you are a woman, but you can't, it means you will not be voted. That is how they try to explain to the people, to the society, even men who were complaining that women now they are supported, they are more supported than them. Nowadays, they know that women are not supported. They are taught that they can. Some of them have the capacity to read and to contribute, to take the decisions, but they have to show that they can. It's not because only they are women. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. It's an important lesson to learn from, to have a professional ability as well as to get also an opportunity, equal opportunity with the men to be able to express themselves and to contribute to the community. So that's really great answer. I get into my final question to you, which will be, what advice would you give someone that, more specifically women who wants to enter into politics? What would be your advice?
The first advice is that women must know that they are needed in the society, and especially in politics. They are needed because, as I have said before, they do politics differently. They do it well, more than men. So they have to know their role, their importance. Secondly, the country, when you have given your contribution to the development of your country, you feel very proud. So when your country is developing and there is any of your contributions, you are not working as well as it should be. So women who want to go in politics, they are encouraged to go. And also it helps you to think, to make your brain work. When you are not in politics, you don't think very deeply. But when you are in politics, you think very deeply and you know where the country is going. When you are not, you can't know where the direction of your country. But when you are in politics, you know where the country is going, and you advise. When you see that there are some wrong, some mistakes which are made, and which can cause the country very bad consequences, you try to help. You give your contribution, you give your assistance. So women, they have to go into politics, of course. They have to go, they have to share, to show their capacity, their intelligence, because they have. And also, when a woman is in politics, the country is very stable. We had the other our percentage on the stability of the country, because even when you are praying, for example, women, I think women, according to my view, women pray more than men. So even in politics, they work very many times more than men. So I advise them, every woman who seems to be able, who like it, she must not be discouraged. She is encouraged to go into politics.
Thank you, MP Mukabunani, for being with us today and for sharing with our audience your experience. We really appreciate it. I think we do have a couple of questions from our audience. My colleague Sarah Wilner is just joining us. Sarah, you're in mute, so.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So a very, very big thank you to you, MP Mukabunani, for joining us today. And it's great to see you back with us since 2015 when you were physically here in Haifa. I hope you can come back soon. Let's hope.
I hope to.
Yeah, that would be great. And thank you to all our participants watching on Facebook Live. We have a few questions for you. The first question is, you mentioned that you are a mother and you are also working very hard in your government. And how are you able to manage the work-life balance? I think this is a question we ask many women. And we wonder what your strategies are for that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question. This question is relating to what I was talking about, how women work in politics more than men. They work differently because we have the capacity to manage 3 or 4 things at the same time. and we succeed to do it. For example, before leaving home, we have to organize everything at home. And even the children at school, for example, when they are in the boarding, mine are in the boarding, you have to know how they work at school. And also me, who is the chairperson of a political party, I have to organize my party and also to work for the parliament. All those things I have to combine, but I have to put the order. Everything has its time. I can't mix everything. It has its time. For example, for home, I organize in the morning, and for the party, I organize during the weekend, and for other days, I work for the parliament. So everything is ordered, is organized, and everything succeed well. I can manage them, and no problem about those all those responsibilities.
So it's all about time management, making
Yes,
sure that
time
you are managing your time properly. And do you have time for yourself? It sounds like on the weekend you are working, or you are with your family, or you are you are working in the parliament, or you're working for your party.
Yeah, no, at the time during the evening, for example, during the evening, and also during the weekend, I don't work Saturday and Sunday. I work on Saturday. On Sunday, I'm free.
That's important, I think, for everyone. Okay, so also another question that was asked is, at the government level, what policies do you think need to be implemented in order for gender equality to really happen? What kind of policies can governments put in place?
There are policies are there. Policies are there, but the implementation of those policies, that is where there is a problem. Because here we have, I can say, there are enough policies in all the areas of the life, but the implementation, that is where it must be put more effort. For example, the policy of using ICT in our lives, it is still below, under the required level. Because, for example, when the schools were closed during the lockdown because of the COVID-19, if we had ICT, which is where appropriate, it should not be a problem. But because we were not ready to use ICT. And that policy was put in place since, I think, 2016. But until today, it is not working. So the implementation of some policies is the problem. But we are still encouraging, especially we who are in the opposition party, we put the pressure to the government that when they put in place a policy, it must be implemented. Yeah.
So how do you make sure that implementation happens?
Well, the implementation can happen through the executive level. Executive level means the ministries and the local government. That is where there are problems. And also the planners. People who plan, they don't work well. Because if they plan well, they can put a policy which is realistic, which can be implemented. But when you say, for example, after two years or 3 years, all Rwandan secondary schools will be using ICT in education. And you know that all the materials which must be used are not available. How can you put that policy? So the planners must, first of all, make the evaluation of the materials. If they are able to find the materials, then they can put the policy. But they say about a policy without the materials. They say, for example, education for all in Rwanda, education must be for all. And there are no school, no classrooms, for example, no enough classrooms. How can you say that all people will go to school and study without the classrooms? So at the planning level, there is a problem which must be corrected.
Okay, thank you. I understand. And at the local level, there needs to be empowerment, maybe, in order for them to be able to actually implement what the policies say. Mhm. So the last question would be my question to you is, what is the main message that you would like participants to leave this session with? What is your final message you would like to tell everyone?
Yeah, the message is, first of all, that on the behalf of the Rwanda, I thank very much you and Israel in general, because we continue to work hand in hand in many domains of the life. Israel is a country which cooperates well with Rwanda. That is the thanks. And also another one is that Rwanda is a developing country. We are still developing, which means that all that is not going well in Rwanda. It's not because of anyone's will. It's because of the situation in which we are. And we hope that, and we have a political will of correcting everything which is not going well. That is the second message. The third one is to encourage the women again to enter in politics, because they can, to not to be afraid of politics, because it's a normal life. It's a normal life. You think, you give your contribution, other people can come and they don't agree with you, and you try to convince them. If you don't try, you accept that you are not in a good way. So it's a platform to evaluate yourself, to see how my thoughts are, at which level they are. So it's a good job to do. Women, I encourage them to enter in politics. And again, I thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been really a big pleasure to have you here. And thank you for these last words. Don't be afraid, do it. Join the politics, become a leader. Like you said, it's some inspiring words. So thank you, MP Mukabunani, for joining us today. And I will pass it back to you, Yehuda.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you also, MP Mukabunani, for such an inspiring interview that you had with us. If you have a final words to say, please, this is the time to you, MP Mukabunani.
Yeah, there was the disruption of the internet, I think.
I just said, if you have any final thoughts to add up, please do so.
I said, we hope again to come in Israel, and you too, we invite you to come in Rwanda to visit us. Welcome.
Thank you. We hope to see you here too again soon, once the skies reopen.
Definitely. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Again, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from Mashav MCTC to MP Mukabunani, as well as to all of our audiences throughout the world. It wasn't an easy year, 2020, but we're hoping that 2021 will bring peace, health, and hope to all of us, and the year will be something that will start new line in our lives. So thank you so much. Please follow our social media page and look into our website for upcoming events that we have. We have so many activities coming up also. We're definitely going to come up with another guest in January, in the new year, with a new guest. Thank you for everyone, and shalom.
Thank you
Happy New
too.
Year. Happy
Happy New Year.
holidays. Happy New Year. Happy
You
Merry
too. You
Christmas.
too.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.